Those of you who are new to me, our website is shree.org. And on that website is an interview with Buddha at the Gas Pump, Rich Archer. And pretty much I tell my whole story there. So that way we can kind of bypass it. But I do share the nature of a spontaneous awakening that occurred in the middle of my, well, yes, exactly, midpoint of my life at the age of 50. An architect, a family man, a community activist, owning a solar energy business. Very happy, no seeking, no meditation. And late one night, amidst an unusual despair, the universe opened up. And it did not close back down, although I thought it had. And it kept staying open. And at some point, I recognized that whatever had happened was irrevocable, that I was not going to be able to go back to function as a normal human being as I had been, and began to make arrangements. So from my awakening until I left for India with a newfound teacher, which I found 2 months after my awakening started, I came here to Arunachala and lived with him for 6 years. In those 6 years, there was this spontaneous and natural unfolding that occurred for me, I now recognize, to be a non-stop unfolding that took me through various stages of the journey. And when I finished the journey, that was the recognition of that I was that of which I had been introduced to, and that there was no difference between me, the person, and me, the supreme, the universal principle from which all this emerges. They were both simultaneously occurring in my own system. I didn't know that this was a natural process at the time, but I suspected it. I suspected because I wasn't seeking. I wasn't in any tradition. I expected that what was happening was a naturally occurring process, which from the very beginning I recognized to be purposeful. That human beings, when they reach a certain point of maturity, come to fruition. And what we are when we're blossomed is both divine and human. Spirit, matter find their reconciliation in each of us. And that it's really the opportunity of every person in mankind who feels the pull to the greater possibility that they are. This is the essence of my teachings. That the spiritual unfolding is a natural process. When you can understand it with correct information, you can align with it. Forget all the teachings and all the dogmas and all the techniques and all the mantras. You can align with the flow of the current that starts in you once you begin to recognize the current in your own body. When you become aware of the current within your own experience, there is a way of attending to the current in such a way that it will enhance its ability to take you to the ocean, to take you to the truth of what you are. So my process, the work I do is essentially 2 parts. Well, a little bit more. One is the right information conversation I'm having right now. Secondly, it's this teaching you, guiding you, instructing you on how to align and first recognize and align with the process that's occurring in you naturally without fear, without making it into more than it is or less than it is. To be able to accurately be in the right relationship with the awakening of the universal capacity that each of us carry. And in that process, continue to empower that awakening within you by attending to it, by withdrawing from the other things in your life and putting your focus, single-focused, on the emerging current that is being experienced in your body in the process. Now, this path is a little bit different only from others because most paths teach of waking up. The principle of waking up out of your ego, waking up out of your error of your identification as a person. And this has a utility. I call that process of waking up is the beginning. Because once you wake up, you have to wake up all the rest of you in the process. So that path also teaches that you have to meet what parts in you that are not yet awake after you wake up. So after the ecstasy, the laundry. In my path, it's usually both are occurring simultaneously. You're waking up and there's laundry. And usually they're one after another. There's discovering the laundry, washing the laundry, waking up. With the new awakened state, you discover there's more laundry, meeting that laundry, washing it, waking up to the next level, and so on and so forth. So there's two tracks, both valid. Both can be guided with this right information. It's about meeting, once the awakening happens, the final part of my work is guiding people to the remaining parts of themselves that is not yet aligned with that awakening. That's still resistant, obscured, hidden. And in that process, you transmute that which is not yet transmuted. And you create this collaboration between the person of you and the divinity that you are. And together, something extraordinary becomes possible. And what is that extraordinary thing? It may be far in the future for some of you. Maybe it's something you're already discovering. Is the ability to be a channel or instrument for the Supreme into existence, the divine into existence. This is a process. The key part of the process is this humbling, this purifying, this undoing the error of the ego that we all inherited, and coming into a true relationship with your life as it's showing up as an opportunity to meet that which is still between you and the possibility you are. And then there is the factor that, because of the quality of the state of my consciousness, I'm like a miracle grow for that divine current within you. It accelerates your ability to access that divinity that you are within you, and gives you ability to tap into it consciously through your human personality, your human mind, in your direct human experience, so that it can become real for you. That this spirituality isn't just something that happens with certain states, or it's not something that happens when you're with certain teachers, but that it's something you can live and experience a steady progression in the unfolding of the possibility that you are, that we all are.